Well, in 2003, we noticed in the New York Times that New York City was offering a domestic partnership for anyone who felt that they were in a domestic partnership. And we were so thrilled to know that we could at least be officially recognized, because we had read these horror stories about, a partner going to the hospital and being kicked out of the hospital room because they were not officially part of the family, and a number of other things that would happen to these people who had no kind of relationship as a domestic partner. So we immediately went down to City Hall, and it was as simple as could be. We signed a few forms, and I think they took our picture, and we were signed up as domestic partners. The night that Bill died, we were having dinner, a wonderful dinner, and I was cleaning up the dishes from the table. And when I went to get the last group of dishes, I noticed that he was slumped over. And I tried to rouse him, and he didn't respond at all. So I immediately ran in and called 911. And as I was talking to them, they knew my address. That's the way the system works. And he sat up, and he said, "I need help. I've soiled myself." And I said, "Of course." So I told 911, everything's fine. I got him up. We went into the bathroom. We got him all cleaned up. And then he started throwing up for about 10 minutes. It was really scary. And that finally stopped. And I said to him, "Well, maybe you should take a nap." And he said, "Wonderful idea." We walked him into the bedroom. He could walk, he could talk. He got in the bed, and that night Lady Gaga had a concert on HBO. And I've always had, at that time, wanted to know who the hell is Lady Gaga. So I watched it, and every time after 2 songs, I would stop it and go in and look at Bill, and he looked wonderful. He had a smile on his face. He was moving his fingers. And when the credits came on, I went in again, and there he was, and he was gone. There was no two ways about it. And I then called again, 911. They were here. It seemed like it was 5 minutes later. The police came, the building emergency people came, and there must have been like 6 or 8 people in the bedroom, and the people who were trying to get him to get back to life did all kinds of things. There were all kinds of vials all over the floor. And halfway through what they were trying to do, the policeman said to me, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm his domestic partner." And everything was okay. The policeman sort of relaxed, as if to say, "Okay, well, fine, you do belong here, and not to worry." As it became obvious that they could not revive him, the police said that we'll go with you to the hospital. They took him to St. Luke's Hospital, which is about 6 blocks away from here. I was there for maybe, I would say, less than a half hour, it seemed. And a very handsome young guy in a blue smock uniform came out, and he said, "Mr. Hilton, can you come with me?" And they have a bereavement room. They must do this a number of times. And so we walked down the hall, and we sat down, and he said, "We tried everything we could, and we could not revive Bill." And he said, "Would you like to go and see him?" And I didn't know what to say to that question, but finally I decided yes, I did. And I went in, and there he was. They had closed his eyes, and they had, I guess, fixed his mouth and whatever they did. And he looked wonderful. And I don't know, I know I kissed him. I think I kissed him on his forehead, but I don't remember, but I do know that I did. The thing in New York City that was so wonderful about that law of domestic partnership was gays never had protection to honor their relationship, to find that they would not have to worry about being thrown out of a hospital room, or someone could say, "Why are you together?" And they were together because they were domestic partners. And it was a very important, very wonderful thing for Bill and me to have that kind of protection in a way. We just couldn't thank New York City for being so far ahead of everybody else in the United States about protecting gay people who wanted to be protected by that kind of a relationship.